So we're just going to go for the 8th video of yoga with weights, or Pilates yoga with weights. It's probably more Pilates really, because the breathing we're doing is more specific to Pilates. I don't want to go too deep, as deep as I would on the floor with Pilates breath. I'm going to go deep enough, but the general first phase is going to be an exhale, the next one's going to be inhale. Would it kill you the other way around? No, it wouldn't. Again, generally it's done like that. You could do it either way, it wouldn't kill you. And the main thing is we'll be gathering, which we'll go into detail in a minute. Slow as hard, fast as easy. I've got a couple of 2 kilo weights here. It could be 1 kilo, it could be half a kilo, because you could do it super slow. You know, you'll make it hard in the end. Slow as hard, fast as easy, especially on the negative phases, coming down against gravity. That's the hardest phase. So it's going to be a shoulder press. I've done sort of like a bicep curl on a shoulder press, but again, I'm just going to do a shoulder press on its own. And yeah, so basically, I've gone for the thing, 1 leg, 2 arms to start. There's lots of variations. Going to stick with that. The reason I'm doing the 1 leg is because 85% of the time we're on 1 leg in the walking phase. So it's a very good functional exercise for everyday life, doing anything on the 1 leg. So 2 arms, 1 leg. We're going to go for the breathing first. I'm going to go in a little bit of detail. Okay, so just make sure you're nice and warm, and then we're going to go through a little bit of breathing, gathering. That's why I'm doing that, gathering in. So we throw on that corset muscle. Okay, again, and that's going to help us stabilise. So before we start, just make sure you're a little bit warm, because you don't want to be going to this cold. Even you're doing a lightweight, and like I say, I mean, I've got shoes on. Some people prefer yoga and Pilates. Well, mostly they do it barefoot, because obviously we've got 7,500 nerve endings in the feet. Not to go too deep, but again, it's good to have that bare foot so you can lengthen out, trim big toe, little toe, easier. I'm wearing shoes. I just think it's good for safety anyway, because if you drop the old weights on your feet, again, I'll leave it with you, but I'd advise probably to wear shoes, but it's up to you. I've got a lot of old school kickboxing injuries and running injuries on the feet anyway, so I tend to wear shoes and wear, yeah. But anyway, I don't want to digress too much there. So let's get into the breathing. So just stand natural, Shizen posture from, say, Tai Chi or something. Shoulders over hips, head over shoulders, everything nice and loose, soft in the knees. So let's just go to here. We're going to just get 2 thumbs going across the belt line from the hips to join. Okay, just to show you a little bit of awareness before we start. It's good to do anyway. Now, lower than this is pelvic floor. Above this is the corset muscle. Wrapping around the corset muscle. Above this B-line, bikini line, belt line, whatever you want to call that. Okay, above this is the corset, 3 layers deep. There's another 2 muscles, the rectus abdominis and the internal obliques, but I don't want to go too much detail with that. Just think of the corset muscle, the 3rd layer deep, on the top of this B-line, wrapping around our spine. We get that by tucking in, okay? You don't have to do that yourself, but tuck in, okay? And below this B-line is the pelvic floor. That links on like cling film on this B-line to the corset muscle, okay? So to show you they go together, you can't do one without the other, okay? This is a reassurance. If you go around this B-line here and cough, you'll find they both go together. So when we're doing this nice resonant exhale, that'd be zipping up pelvic floor and scooping out your abdominals to get that corset. Them 2 muscles go together. Again, there's a little bit of detail to this, but just knowing this will help you use them muscles in the most correct manner, the most efficient manner, or even more efficient than you are to support the spine. Because sometimes, a bit like an amnesia, you don't know these muscles are there, then you won't use them as efficiently. Now you know they're there, you can do. So I'm going to go into this. We're just going to simply zip up pelvic floor, scoop out the abdominals. Their muscles go together. I don't go too much. There's a lot more detail to that, but the ones on the floor, but I'm going to go from here now. The motion is going to be here. I'm going to start here. There's lots of ways to do it. Elbow in line with shoulder. Okay, elbow in line with shoulder and wrist in line with elbow. We're going to start here and we're going to come up. Just do it without the weights to start. My shoulders want to come in. My trap muscles, again, keep them down. Okay, 90% of us overactive in the upper traps. Tops of the ears I want to go roughly and then back again. Okay, there are other ones here, but I'm going to stick to this one. If you want to turn, you can turn the palm. So just start without the weight, just to sort of warm up a little bit, zipping out pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals. When we mix this breath in, on the first phase, breathe on the next. That first exhale really help you gather in, okay? Again, so keep your shoulders down, lengthen up for the crown, empty one leg and fill up the next. Now, if your coordination is all right, this is doing our shoulders or triceps here, okay? If you want to bring in the rotator cuff muscles, a little bit of a turn here, where you turn the palms to the front and then turn back, you can do. Okay, so I'll do both them options as we're doing it. Empty one leg, then alternate to the other leg, empty the other leg. 2 hands, 1 leg, coming back down. Again, this is getting in that rotator cuff. Okay, so again, you've got a scapularis muscle, probably not as much there, that's a rotator cuff muscle not being used, but the teres minor, infraspinatus, supraspinatus, all in there. The rotator cuff muscles have been used a lot more. Okay, so let's go into this. I'll do it as I go. So, root one leg in. Imagine them roots up towards the ceiling, rooting us in towards the floor even. Gather in, okay. Again, from here, we're going to come to this position. I'm going to start, empty one leg, fill up the next. So it's breathing in, coming back down. Slow as harder, fast as easier. Then empty the other leg. Breathing in, coming back down. Simply calibrate and synchronize the breath and the motion. I'm emptying one leg and breathing in, coming back down. Feel that soft cushion of the earth. And bring his arms lower, you can do. I'll come to the tops of the ears a bit lower. Breathing, come back down. Don't stay here, you can do. If you want to feel a bit more natural motion, then bring them back down just to above the shoulders. For a bit more natural motion, exhale. Breathing in, coming back down. Now as you're doing this, you can lift the foot right the way off the floor or just a little bit, okay? Or you can even keep a foot on the floor. So again, you can even just partially empty one foot and then come back down, okay? So again, you can just do like a cat stance. I'm going to move this actually. So I'm going to move this so you can get the feet. Organise this a bit better. That's better. So you can see the feet. So again, if this is a little bit hard, that's much better. You've got the feet. You can just do a cat stance and breathing, come back down. Okay, and then a cat stance with the other leg and breathing, come back down. If you want to make it harder, you can empty one leg slightly and come up and back down, keeping these shoulders down. Remember, soft cushion of the earth, empty one leg, fill up the next, exhale up. Breathing, come back down. Remember, you've got that cat stance there. If it's too hard, keeping the hips in the same plane, then exhale, okay? Or you can bring the leg here, here, or here. Exhaling up, breathing, coming back down. Slow as harder, fast as easier. If you want to add that turn to get the rotator cuffs in, then all you do, you just turn and face the palm towards the ceiling. It's like a punch at the end, you turn the wrist, then you turn and come back down. Try not to do it all in mid-air, you know what I mean, if you're doing that, because it looks a bit ungainly and you sort of out of kilt. You'll find if you do it right at the end, like you would a punch, turn at the end, and then turn back and come back, rather than sort of going here and then turning. Do you know what I mean? It gets a bit, to do the turn at the end, both the turns at the end and at the beginning of the negative phase. So the positive phase is coming up, you turn, and then the negative phase coming down, you turn and come back down. So you've got that alignment. Okay, empty one leg, fill up the next, exhale up, gather in, zip up and hollow, and breathing, come back down. Feel that soft cushion of the earth. It's breathing in, coming back down. As you're doing this, you're just keeping these shoulders down. They're not coming up around the ears, okay, because these, like say, 8% of us, I think it's 85% of us are very overactive, these upper traps. They're already strong, them upper traps. So allow the lower traps, the trap muscles, the kite that comes up to the back end of the neck. We're going to keep the lower traps working to keep them down, okay? That's more functional for good posture. And as you exhale up, you turn and breathing, come back down, feeling that soft cushion of the earth. If you want to stay here or down here. Okay, this is a little bit harder up here. This is a bit easier here. The tops of the shoulders, exhaling up, turn at the end. Breathing in, coming back down. Nice resonant exhale. It's going to help us gather in, zip up and hollow. So when you're ready, it's breathing in, coming back down. Simply calibrate and synchronize the breath and the motion. Integrate the breath with the movement. Exhale, breathing in, coming back down. Feel that soft cushion of the earth, gathering against the instability. Navel towards the spine. Exhale, breathing in, coming back down. Okay, again, I'd say about 10 for quality, super slow. Remember, slow is harder, fast is easier. If you want to come out and go back in, do a second set, you can do. If you want to stretch in the muscles, you just work in. So again, you can either work, you've got a deltoid here, you can pull across here, above the elbow, and a bit of a stretch there. Again, or even the triceps. You can even sort of stretch the neck a little bit. I wouldn't put too much weight on the neck, just sort of slightly to the side. Take this arm up and just drop it down. Again, so it's the levator scapulae muscles, etc. The neck muscles basically, and just drop that shoulder down. So again, that gets you sort of upper traps here, even here, hug a tree, chin on the chest. That get these rhomboid muscles, the house muscles that keep your shoulder blades back. Here, okay, hug a tree, pull out that way, and a little bit of a stretch in between. Okay. Again, it can be even a tricep one here, fingertips on the elbow to here. Palm on the opposite scapula, have a stretch there, and then go straight back in. Okay, when you're ready, again, when you're ready, we go straight back in. Again, everyone's tempo and speed will be different, so exploit the speed and tempo to make it only as hard or as easy as you want. So when you're ready, you come to here, empty one leg. Exhaling up through pursed lips, you're blowing out a candle through pursed lips, little turn at the end with a hand. Breathing in, coming back down to the tops of the ears or not. Remember, higher's harder, lower's easier. Foot on the floor or not, optional with a cat stance, or come all the way up. Exhaling up, breathing in, coming back down. If you want to walk forward and back, you can do. Little options, but exhale. Root one leg in. Imagine them roots just growing up to that leg. Breathing in, coming back down. It's up. Breathing in, coming back down. Shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. Exhale. Little turn at the end, then turn before you come back down. Okay, remember, slow is harder, fast is easier, especially when you're coming back down on that negative phase. So exploit that speed and tempo to make it as easy or as hard as you like. Exhaling up. Breathing in, coming back down. Feel that soft cushion of the earth as that foot melts back down towards the floor. Watch these shoulders. You've got a mind of their own. Exhale. Breathing in, coming back down. Exploit that speed and tempo. Exhale. Breathing in, coming back down. Remember, don't lock out too much on the elbow. Keep these elbows soft. So just shy of locking out, okay? Again, let's go. A few more. If you want to come out early and have a stretch, give you them options there. Leg high or low. Breathing in, coming back down. It's up. Breathing in, back down. Again, let's go 4 more. Exhaling up. Breathing in, back down. Again, you can do as many of these or less. See what suits you. Only make this as easy or as hard as you like. It's your unit of your mind and body. Exhale. Breathing back down. It's up. Back down. And again, a little tip on that one is keep soft on the elbow. So not completely locked, just shy of locking out. Okay, so there's locked. There's just shy of locking out. Nice and soft on the elbow. Soft joints, Tai Chi joints or Qigong, nice and soft on the joints. When you're rooting a leg in also, you don't have to completely lock out on that knee. Slightly soft on the knee. Okay, so slightly soft. Nearly locked but not quite. Shoulders over hips, head over shoulders. Zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out the abdominals. Remember that exhale will help you do that. Okay, exhaling up, breathing back down, working the deltoids there. And again, if you've got that turning, you've got them little all them little rotor cuff muscles in there. And yeah, I've been sort of quite basic on that breath. I've done a lot of other videos going more deeper into the breath, but again, at the end, you can do a bit of a stretch, okay, before you go back in, just to get the quality. Stretching the deltoids there, you know, that's optional, how long you want to stretch them for. You know, you've got a few, you've got the hugger tree here, if you like. You know, that's going to get these rhomboids here. You've got these here before you go back in. So gives you a little bit of stretching there. Even on these, I would gather in, throw that corset on there. Okay, using them Pilates and yoga principles there. And that's the end of the 8th video. Bang.